breaking news for Republicans who already know this news, because this is something they pay attention to. The stock market closed at another all-time high today as the Biden stock market continues to outperform the stock market under every previous president. That means the rich are getting richer, much richer, during the Biden administration, something that Donald Trump has always promised rich people would be impossible. But rich people have actually always done better in the stock market and in the economy under Democratic presidents than under Republican presidents. People of all income levels have historically been better off economically under Democratic presidents than under Republican presidents. That is a simple fact of economic life in America, an often ignored simple fact of economic life in America. On Sunday morning at 10:44 a.m., a 78-year-old Florida man screamed at the top of his social media lungs, "I hate Taylor Swift." Unfortunately for Donald Trump, no one was surprised. No one thought he was better than that. No one, not his supporters, no one. Hate is not a presidential verb. You can check the public statements of most presidents and never find them saying they hate a person. George W. Bush's father did say in 2002, "I hate Saddam Hussein. I don't hate a lot of people. I don't hate easily." Like Donald Trump, George H.W. Bush was a former president when he said that, and he was 78 years old. And he added the apologetic note, "I don't hate a lot of people. I don't hate easily," as a way of explaining why he was using the word hate, a word presidents don't use that way. Donald Trump, on the other hand, hates a lot of people. He hates very easily. He hates everyone and has publicly expressed hatred for everyone, from me to Taylor Swift. And that really is everyone. He has the most hateful mind and spirit in presidential history. You can search the internet and you will not come up with much more than those two uses of the verb hate applied to a person in presidential history. Just, "I hate Saddam," and "I hate Taylor Swift." George H.W. Bush, at 78 years old, had the presence of mind to give a reason for hating Saddam. Former President Bush said at the time, "He used poison gas on his own people, so there's nothing redeeming about this man." Donald Trump gave no reason for hating Taylor Swift, nothing about poison gas. And so, that sent possibly millions of young girls and boys to their parents yesterday to ask why Donald Trump hates Taylor Swift. Some of those kids will be asking some of those parents why the parents are voting for Donald Trump, who hates Taylor Swift. Many of those kids will have a better understanding of Donald Trump from that one social media post than some of their parents who think they support Donald Trump's policies. The kids know that that statement, "I hate Taylor Swift," is the ranting of an angry, irrational old man who has so much hate in him that he actually has hatred for Taylor Swift. Young voters who will cast their first vote for president this year all know who Taylor Swift is, and hating her doesn't make any sense to them, and it shouldn't make sense to anyone else. The test of Trump madness is always to apply the latest example of it in a hypothetical to someone else. So, let's imagine President Biden woke up Sunday morning and tweeted in capital letters, "I hate Lee Greenwood!" exclamation point. Lee Greenwood is a Trump supporter who sang at the Republican National Convention. There would be calls for invoking the 25th Amendment to remove President Biden from office for mental incompetence if he tweeted, "I hate Lee Greenwood." And concerns about mental competence would be justified. any singer you can name. And the people who would scream about it the most, are the people who completely accept, as Trump followers, Donald Trump posting insanely, "I hate Taylor Swift." That is how much Donald Trump followers have corrupted the outward expression of their own values in their need to accept the public poison of Donald Trump and continue to support his candidacy. And now millions of Trump-supporting parents in America are going to find out that their kids might not think it's perfectly reasonable and justifiable for Donald Trump to hate Taylor Swift just because she endorsed Kamala Harris for president. The "I hate Taylor Swift" story was quickly eclipsed yesterday by another crazy American man with a gun, apparently trying to do something crazy with a gun that he was apparently able to obtain illegally in a country where Republicans have made sure that America's murderers and assassins are the very best equipped murderers and assassins in the world.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Mackenzie LaPointe. I'm the United States Attorney for the Southern District of Florida.
Because history is sometimes perfect, the federal prosecutor now in charge of investigating what he calls a possible attempted assassination of Donald Trump yesterday is an immigrant to this country from Haiti. Here is the last thing Donald Trump said about Haitian immigrants in this country.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
U.S. Attorney Mackenzie LaPointe came to this country when he was 16 years old, impoverished, from Haiti, with his mother. When he graduated Miami Edison Senior High School in 1987, he immediately joined the Marines. He served in the First Iraq War for 6 months in 1990. After law school, he worked for 2 years in the U.S. Attorney's Office before joining a prominent Miami law firm. Donald Trump has said this about immigrants specifically from Haiti, like Mackenzie LaPointe.
They're poisoning the blood of our country.
In the Trump universe, the man with the poisoned blood would be the assassin, and the native-born white American would be the prosecutor. But in reality, it's exactly the opposite.
We're here to announce that Ryan Wesley Ralph, 58 years old, has been charged by a criminal complaint in the Southern District of Florida with firearms offenses related to an incident which occurred yesterday at Trump International Golf Course right here in West Palm Beach. Ralph was charged federally with possession of a firearm by a convicted felon and possession and receipt of a firearm with an obliterated serial number. He had his initial appearance today before Magistrate Judge Ryan McCabe in the federal courthouse in West Palm Beach. According to the allegations in the complaint, a U.S. Secret Service agent walking the golf course perimeter saw what appeared to be a rifle poking out of the tree line. After the agent fired a service weapon in the direction of the rifle, a witness saw a man later identified as Ralph fleeing the area in the tree line. Ralph was later apprehended by officers from the Martin County Sheriff's Office in coordination with the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. The FBI is continuing its investigation of this incident as an assassination attempt upon the former president. I want to personally express my gratitude to the attorneys with the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of Florida and the Counterterrorism Section of the Justice Department's National Security Division for their non-stop work over the last 24 to 30 hours.
Donald Trump wants to fire them all. Everyone who the U.S. Attorney just thanked, Donald Trump wants to fire. They are the deep state to Donald Trump and his crazed Republican followers in Washington. All those federal investigators who were working nonstop, as the U.S. Attorney just said, for the last 24 to 30 hours, Donald Trump wants to fire. Donald Trump believes they are all the enemy. These are the days to remember that. These are the days to remember that there's one political party in America who wants to defund the police. And the police they want to defund are FBI agents and other federal agents. And the Republican Party will do that. If Republicans win the White House and if they win the United States Senate, they will replace Mackenzie LaPointe and every Biden-appointed U.S. attorney throughout the country with a Trump-appointed U.S. attorney, a position that must be confirmed by the United States Senate. Republican control of the Senate would guarantee that Donald Trump could appoint anyone he wants to anything. At stake in the election, especially in the Senate election, is the future of the American court system. Mackenzie LaPointe is the first Haitian-American U.S. attorney in American history. There won't be another one in a Trump administration. The Senate has confirmed 205 judicial appointments by President Biden, including Ketanji Brown Jackson for the Supreme Court. There are 21 Biden-appointed judges currently waiting to be confirmed by the United States Senate. Next year, there will be 70 federal appeals court judges reaching the retirement age in the federal court system. If the next president gets to appoint 70 appeals court judges, that would be almost 40% of all the federal appeals court judges. The difference between Republican-appointed judges and Democrat-appointed judges is stark. Republican-appointed judges created a new doctrine of criminal immunity just for Donald Trump. No previous president had criminal immunity from George Washington to Barack Obama, but suddenly a Supreme Court with 3 Trump appointees granted Donald Trump criminal immunity. The 3 Supreme Court justices appointed by Democratic presidents Obama and Biden sided with the Constitution against criminal immunity for Donald Trump. Federal judges serve for decades. They exert power over the American people for decades. Clarence Thomas voted to overturn Roe versus Wade 32 years after he was appointed by George H.W. Bush. There is a possibility that beginning next year, no federal judges will be confirmed for the next 4 years. No matter how many of them retire, they will not be replaced if Republicans control the United States Senate during Kamala Harris's presidency. Kamala Harris would become the first president in history to appoint 0 federal judges if the Democrats lose control of the United States Senate in the upcoming elections. The stakes have never been this high on judicial nominations because the difference between judges appointed by Democrats and judges appointed by Republicans has never been more dramatic. George H.W. Bush appointed Clarence Thomas, an opponent of Roe versus Wade, but he also appointed Supreme Court Justice David Souter, who turned out to be a supporter of Roe versus Wade. Republican President Richard Nixon appointed 3 Supreme Court justices who joined a unanimous Supreme Court ruling against President Nixon, which then forced President Nixon to resign the presidency. The Supreme Court has changed dramatically since then. Our politics have changed in shockingly bad ways since then on the Republican side. Special Prosecutor Jack Smith is now appealing a ruling by the Donald Trump-appointed Judge Aileen Mercedes Cannon, in which Judge Cannon dismissed all criminal charges against Donald Trump for illegal possession of classified documents. A Trump judge just threw that criminal case against Donald Trump out, threw it out of court. Jack Smith is now appealing that decision to a federal appeals court, which has 7 Republican appointees and 5 Democratic appointees. And that 11th Circuit Court of Appeals has so far been perfectly fair. In considering Jack Smith's previous appeals of Judge Cannon's rulings, that 11th Circuit Court of Appeals is very likely to overturn Judge Cannon's ruling and reinstate the criminal case against Donald Trump. But if Donald Trump is elected president, he will immediately fire Jack Smith and order the Justice Department to drop all criminal cases against him in federal court. And then he will appoint Judge Aileen Mercedes Cannon to the United States Supreme Court after easily making Clarence Thomas an offer he can't refuse, to retire into a life of a very, very rich man with massive wealth being instantaneously and legally handed handed to Clarence Thomas upon retirement. Donald Trump will make the same deal with Justice Samuel Alito, who the New York Times reports was removed by the Chief Justice from writing an important opinion for the court after the New York Times first reported that a flag sympathetic to the January 6th insurrection of defendants was flown at Samuel Alito's home. Donald Trump and corporate America will conspire to make 74-year-old Samuel Alito a very, very rich man for retiring from the Supreme Court and being replaced by someone 30 years younger at least. And that means the next presidential election could very quickly leave the Supreme Court with 5 Trump-appointed justices, 2 of whom would be ruling on how we live in this country for the next 40 years. Donald Trump's poison will live on in the Supreme Court and our federal judiciary long after he's gone. If Kamala Harris wins the presidency, and if Democrats win the United States Senate, then the future of the federal courts can be saved, and the future of those courts can be improved. The stakes in a presidential election have never been higher. Leading off our discussion tonight